A billionaire was walking through a neighborhood with a young investor. They stopped in front of a rundown house, peeling paint, cracked driveway, overgrown garden. Every other house on the street was well maintained. The young investor said, "I would never buy that." The billionaire said, "I know, that is why it is still available, and that is exactly why I would." The next afternoon, the billionaire met a man named Rayan at a coffee shop. Rayan had been trying to get into property investment for 3 years. He had saved $40,000. Every time he found a property he thought was good, it was already under contract. Every time he went to auction, he was outbid. He told the billionaire, "The market is too competitive. I cannot win against people with more money." The billionaire looked at him. "You are competing in the wrong market." Rayan frowned. "I am competing in the only market I can afford." The billionaire shook his head. "You are competing for properties that everyone wants. Those properties are priced correctly. You will never find a margin there. The money in property is always in the properties that look wrong but are not." Rayan said, "You mean rundown properties?" The billionaire replied, "I mean misunderstood properties. There is a difference. A rundown property costs money to fix. A misunderstood property costs confidence to buy, and confidence is free." Rayan was not following. "Give me an example." The billionaire said, "In the street I walked past this morning, there is a house listed at $340,000. Every agent in the area values comparable homes between $480,000 and $520,000. The house looks bad from the outside. That is the only reason it is still available. The bones are perfect. The location is identical. The problem is purely cosmetic." Rayan leaned forward. "How much would it cost to fix?" The billionaire said, "I asked a builder this morning. Fresh paint inside and out, new flooring, kitchen cosmetics, garden clear, $28,000. Maximum $35,000 if you find problems behind the walls." He opened his notepad. "You buy at $340,000. You spend $35,000 on works. Total in $375,000. Comparable sales in that street right now are $490,000. You list at $479,000 to move it quickly. Your gross profit is $104,000. On a $40,000 cash investment, because the rest was borrowed, that is a 260% return." Rayan crossed his arms. "But what if it does not sell at that price?" The billionaire replied, "Then you rent it. At $490,000 value, the rental yield in that suburb is 4.2%. That is $20,580 a year. Your mortgage on $375,000 at current rates is roughly $22,000 a year. You are almost neutral from day one while the asset appreciates. The risk is not the house. The risk is doing nothing while you wait for a perfect opportunity that does not exist." Rayan said, "But I have never done a renovation. I do not know how to manage a builder." The billionaire looked at him directly. "And the first time you drove a car you had never driven before, did that stop you getting in? You learn by doing one, not by studying 10. Rayan bought the house 11 weeks later, $338,000. He spent $31,000 on cosmetic works over 8 weeks. He listed it at $469,000. It sold in 12 days at $461,000. His profit after all costs was $88,000. He had turned his $40,000 savings into $128,000 in less than 6 months. He bought his second property the following month. In property, and in most things, the biggest returns are never in the obvious opportunities. They are in the ones that look wrong at first glance, because the first glance is where most people stop. The investor who looks twice always finds what the one who looks once walked past. Follow Business Capsule before you scroll. Rayan turned $40,000 into $128,000 in 6 months by buying the house everyone else ignored. Follow for the daily logic that teaches you to see what others miss. If this made you think differently about where opportunity actually hides, hit like, 1 tap, comment. Have you ever walked past an opportunity because it looked wrong on the surface? What was it? Write it below. The answer might surprise you. And share this with someone who is waiting for the perfect moment to invest. The perfect moment is almost always the one that looks slightly wrong,